Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to myself, I suppose, too. I've been gone for a little while, but I was working on some necessary things, including another project of mine I've kind of had in the wings for a little while. And what that project is the writing of a story. And that story is the real or original King in Yellow. Now, for those of you who might be familiar with the original King in Yellow, this is a collection of short stories by Robert W. Chambers, and it's kind of based on this fabled play that, from about 100 years ago. This play, The King in Yellow, it was banned in France and Germany and London. Basically, wherever this book showed up, it was burned, it was banned. The people who read it lost their minds. Some of them offed themselves. And even the writer of the original play, supposedly rumored, was to have offed himself. So anyway, it's kind of been brewing in the back of my head for a while, and I was writing on it, for the last few months, and then more recently it's been coming together of how to put it all together. So today what I'm going to read is what is the prologue to The Real King in Yellow. And because this book already exists, and likely copyright purposes, even for a book that's, I think, past the, whatever the trademark laws are, I'll probably call it something at this point in time. The working title was The Skeleton Key in Yellow. But in the meantime, this is the prologue. Circuitous coves curling, winding off-chain islands on the emerald golden coast. Carcosa calls, anchor broke, the chains they fall, secrets riddling every wave, galley, and boat. The sign mask enrobed yellow, a bold and singular fellow, his face you see you'll never know. Thunderous keel, mast snap, stem and bow crack, stern up torn from below. Hail the dream, hail the kingdom and the king, into the night maelstrom we all go. Words of the mad stranger. This is a prologue by Irhas, the last bard of Carcosa. And it begins, the floating islands chained a curious rapture for eternity, beat a golden heart of life was captured a moment to see, from there the coast bloomed out. Waned, eclipsed all past kingdoms and kings, and flowering gardens hanging, even death was celebrated. Waters flowing, channels open, flowing night and day, sedulous sultry music sung and played, laughing for all evil and holy reason through twin sun seasons, black stars glinting, lights piercing, pealing round their abyssal lolling and rolling as holes in the heavens began tearing open. Undulating a circular cusp, this rich blackness wanders up from heaping ancient coastal growth, the sky itself, a mountain shelf built upon still more mountains themselves, intersecting twined eternally ambered in time, an hourglass horizon where the space meets the sky, from which hangs that glorious golden coast and their fabled foretold islands, above which black stars folding in, not reflecting their switchbacking black hole gate, hotly furious, winding and gushing geysers and jetting from coast and ocean and land into the wild sky mountain singing blackness reflected. The water connects all elements, earthen floors and skyward shores of fiery graves of rising again shot in the sky, where all enemy spirits are killed, banished, thrown from which new dreams and songs arise. To bind and bless all of the sky and lands where beloved native-souled terra firma and noble bodies are sent, sky burial hurling towards and past those lolling black holes, rolling in their siren-sucking seduction, flown past with solar mast, higher still the honored dead do fly, into that silver-shrouded marbled mountain built into the sky, forever reflecting what's projecting, slinking beast, predator, and prey do beware and feast with the birds in the air who sing in percussion, hunting above the most dangerous bone dogs and fire lions, most rare among anaconda rivers and babbling fountains, tasting the most lustrous fare, where familiar moons strangely hiding idly by, waiting for their time to not bask but shine as lustrous pearly jewels of old secrets and hidden kingdoms now dead, never to re-arise. Haster all past and present pastures, fed upon until gone, the herdsmen shepherd gods long dead by their own masters, with hardly a one with fore or after sight to mourn, and only a curse remains from one or three two-note tones, from many a mask and hushed lips, whispered heads of the dead turn into the colt of the worms, gurglings and moans. Of course, the hidden util that blindly reap timely where once we remind me of a time before my meter and its song gone supposedly wrong, only mistaken for what it pretends, what it longs, what it reaps, just what inside it awakens. Not a single soul can live to know to tell that story or to sing the poem rumored to slake precisely where pandemonium dreams up noble tales come all triers for my sake. Into the body of man, sleep and awake, quake, take yellow tatters and trails await. A you, not me, all dead dyers are we, most lush for the crush, see how madness doth prevail. Hail, hail now in glorious Carcosa, the celestial mount did align. Only here a stratospheric rampart height is born, king kingdom in its kin, immortal enshrined. Verdant growth wild then, off that emerald fruiting vine, sunny basking, luminous, lustrous, golden coast, where even shadows dance and memory breathes and lives. Twixt strange plants retain and yield their seeds and nuts they freely give. The sweetest golden grapes, true just below the steepest, sharp and narrow, blister winds they harrow on such steepest of steeps of their highest heights, and where they are the most sweet, and some embitter drop and die, where come a lark, a farce, a harsh little throng, grubbed up the destroyer, wormed through our pleasant sleep and our sea songs, grown to snatch our winds from upon our own sunlit sails, evolving little teeth and tiny nails. Casilda, beloved, swallowed up all belly, but where are the birds? Where is the whale? Snip and cut every knot, ribbon, ring, circle, and string to the last, and then to steal the very mast. From watery graves they took what was never theirs and could never be all along, robbing not just me, but memories of our happiest of songs. Of all past and future dreams now static they are gone, where once learned ritual becomes happy vigil, through all sleep in its dozing nights in rear garden looking yellow oil lamp light, not rock but sandstone destiny flaked formerly draped in velvet brocades of golden dreams woven, now torn or all light in its guiding night fate, and vision weaver firelight from fright dead now broken, to and from all subtle hidden in long gone receivers. The shadows are lifeless there, the spirit is frozen, the cold enmeshed flesh and its masks are eager. Towered in terror, the twin sun gone out now cold, and they call it a new light, a lie. It is a one-note dark moon, for now all the unborn under umbral smoke spell are but a moment out of his grasp. Its blazing fingered sun, the heart squeezed with a gasp. Grasping, waking, shocking, shaking, but not dreaming or seething beneath these shadowy burnished minarets, spinning up like spider spinnerets, reach and breach the sky as if to tear the moon out like an eye. The second sun gone down now, the other burnt out, just as it hit the lake where the old moons rise. Past the sharpest ledge, only at the edge of the known shore can any one see birds that fly anymore. Returning now in those twisting coves winding off that gorgeous half-dim emerald golden coast where it was said Carcosa lies lying, no longer lustrous the waters receding and drying. For a moment to have shined and awoken, now even your king's long absent will cannot escape being spoken. Alright, so that's the prologue to the new or the real King in Yellow, or the Skeleton Key in Yellow. And just so you know, yes, if I could give it a subtitle, it might be something like The Comedy of Tragedy of Horror, or something to that effect, right? Because while the prologue here has this dense, heavy tone, I want you to know that the whole story will not be that way. Yes, it'll be long form rhyming verse like an epic poem, let's say, but it will not have the same tone because one, that's boring, two, that's a limited range of thought and emotion, and three, because honestly, it would just be too oppressive. It's like radical horror or radical heaviness is no different than radical irony in the sense that too much of it's like surgery, too much of it's oppressive, too much of it is constraining. So that's kind of what horror does, right? The feeling of it is to kind of hem you in with this darkness and then give you a vision of what the monster is. Not all at once, mind you, right? Because then you know what it is and it's not scary anymore. But, a little bit at a time, a few tones at a time, a few notes at a time, the message begins to be heard, the song begins to be listened to, the feelings can be felt, the effect is known. So again, I'm Zach Morkowski with Sharper Pen Image Consulting here. Been focusing on literature analysis as well as looking at music and song lyrics. And today I've been discussing The King in Yellows by Robert W. Chambers, as well as the real story that was written 100 years ago that causes people to lose their minds. And then what I know, from what I know of it, I will be rewriting the real King in Yellow, which I'll probably again title The Skeleton Key in Yellow. So stay tuned. I'll be reading more excerpts, more bits and pieces as I write them. I don't want to do too much. I don't want to go over the whole story. I'll be likely starting a Kickstarter in the next few days. Probably run it for a month or two at tops. See where I get, see if I can even get it. I'll be writing, regardless of the Kickstarter goals, I'll be still working on this anyway, because as you can see, I'm already writing it. I'll try to get another video or two out this week and just kind of go from there. So whether you're new or returning, thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a good day. Take care.